Hi, I'm Jay Smith, creator of Vectrex. Do you know your Vexercise? Do you know your history? G4, TV for gamers.
G4 TV, the Napoleon of the television world. It came, it dominated, then it crashed and burned due to terrible network decisions, just for it to return 7 years later and be promptly banished back to the island of forgotten TV networks. But I was always a big fan of G4, and I love to just sit down and reminisce about it for a bit, but not with any of those more common shows like your X-Plays or Attack of the Shows. Everyone talks about those when they bring up G4, so no, I want to remind the world about those other G4 shows. The ones that got only 1 or 2 seasons and were pretty much forgotten to time. So I invite you to listen as I bring up 5 forgotten G4 TV shows.
We are Human Wrecking Balls.
So this is the show that started the whole idea for this video. Human Wrecking Balls is a simple show where 2 strongman brothers wreck a place or thing with just their bodies and do impromptu challenges against each other. They have a smart guy to try and make sense of the subject of the thing they're breaking that episode, and a medic to do patchwork if they scratch themselves up a little bit. Honestly, it's as straight to the point as it can get, as this show lives and dies on the charisma of the Pumphrey brothers. Which I think they do well, because it looks like they're having fun. The show had 2 seasons, so it was good enough to get renewed, I guess. I always thought the first episode was them destroying an arcade, but that actually didn't happen until season 2, which is kind of weird because you would think with it being on G4, you would start with them destroying, something video game related, but no. But they did make a special guest appearance on X-Play where they messed up some of the home consoles of that generation, and pretty much none of them survived really, honestly.
It's right of Wii right there. Yes!
This show really feels like it should have been on Spike TV, like right beside Mansers and like Deadliest Warrior, with those shows that try and act like they're teaching you something, but you're really there just for the entertainment value of it. And it probably would have actually got a few more seasons if it was on Spike TV, but what we got was pretty good, I would argue. That's if you have like any rips of it, essentially, because it's not streaming or showing anywhere, so all there is old internet clip videos where they skip around the actual show and just show the destruction parts, which to be fair are probably the best parts of the show, actually.
This is the ultimate competition of man versus obstacle. Who will top the unbeatable Banzuke?
So probably the least forgotten show on the list. Unbeatable Banzuke is that other Japanese game show that aired on G4 way back in the day. And hey, it even re-aired back when G4 did its grand return before it shut down again. It's a challenge show like Ninja Warrior, but it has single challenges that are more specific and wacky. Not anything like those fake Japanese shows that go viral every blue moon or so. They just have niche tasks like an obstacle course where you have to do the whole thing while doing a handstand, or a group challenge where each player has to be thrown onto like a suspended log and hold on before the time runs out. That one's always really fun. My favorite being the Dorama 7, where the person has to take down a tower one hammer swing at a time without the top falling off of it. My least favorite being the Super Helico. I'm sure it's not the easiest thing to do, but it just doesn't hold my attention, plus it's so loud. You would think a little helicopter wouldn't make so much noise.
しかししっかりとアドバルーンをクリアしないといけません。もう一回青いところからオレンジのアドバルーン、そして赤のアドバルーンです。先ほどのアドバルーンを巻き込んでしまった。
But a fun part is if someone does come and beat the challenge, they just update it and make it even harder for the next person. It's most definitely a bigger show over in Japan than it is here, because over there it apparently has a whole bunch of other seasons and different variants under its belt that have never made its way over here to America. Much like the original showings in Ninja Warrior, you get a brief explanation of what's happening in an English voiceover, and then after that it's all subs, no dubs. But the original seemingly live commentary while the competitors are actually going through their tasks, I wouldn't give that up for anything. I love the energy that guy puts out where he's either very disappointed that they didn't win or he gets very excited when they're actually so close and they actually succeed. Most of the episodes are on YouTube in a low quality, but still watchable. And there are many playlists of them in order so that you can throw it on your second screen as a distraction. I think with streaming they could probably put this back out there just like how it was back then. It would probably get a small but decent audience.
90秒は刻一刻と過ぎていく。
purpose of big battles is to keep the monsters from battling and hurting people. So they're put in a danger cage or the Kaiju Big Battle Big Ring. The Kaiju monsters are giant city-crushing monsters. Some are good, some are bad, some aren't really monsters. Let me tell you about Dr. Cube. He's a jerk.
Thanks, Beeve. Yes, Kaiju Big Battle had a show on G4. Kind of. You see, when I attended MetroCon this year, I actually went to a KBB history panel where they showed off a whole bunch of stuff, including Action Blast, a paid programming time slot bought up by Hasbro to show off their old cartoons and try and sell toys on the G4 network. And other than the big battle side of things, most of it's lost media, but really most of the pieces are there, kind of. Okay, let's explain this. Action Blast would show kaiju wrestling, shortened down cartoon segments of Hasbro's famous shows, and like toy demonstrations to like try and sell them, I guess was the idea. It's kind of hard to tell. It only lasted around a year or so in 2006, so maybe they thought the world was gonna end, so there was no point in keeping recordings of this. I have no idea. But other than the toy promotion part, you can watch the wrestling side of things from the Big Battle team themselves on their YouTube channel. And you can watch the Hasbro shows in full on whatever freemium streaming platform they got them shoved on nowadays. So it's not really lost, it's more just scattered around. And honestly, I just really wanted to talk about this show for the Big Battle side of things because you all really need to see a guy dressed as a giant plantain drop kicking people.
Join us again next time. Until then, I'm Loud and Noxious. Bye-bye. And he's the Beeb. Good night. And remember, danger can happen.
This summer, Gameavision's opening a can of whoop-ass. It's Bar Fight. Now you can choose from tons of cool characters like Drunk Frat Boy, White Guy Who Knows Karate, and Unemployed Steelworker with a chip on his shoulder. Crush him. Bar Fight. New from Gameavision. This game has not been rated.
Gameavision.
The Spaceballs are coming, so beware!
They're here.
I wanted to get something animated on the list, which is slim pickings for G4, because everyone who remembers the network probably remembers Code Monkeys. So I went with Spaceballs, the animated series instead. But with the sequel being announced recently, this show probably won't stay obscure for long. Fun note, there's actually a YouTube channel that has some of the episodes with a really bad logo taking up like a fourth of the screen on the top, if you're interested in watching this show in like probably the worst way possible. And I have no idea if it's actually like an official upload channel from like 10 years ago or if some random person did that back then. Spaceballs, the animated series, is a continued adventure of the cast of the characters from the movie, obviously. But instead of doing just sci-fi, it parodies a bunch of everything from that era. Like there's stuff for like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and like the Ebola virus and stuff like that. Just weird topical humor from that time. But it's a basic 2000s wannabe Family Guy adult cartoon that just seems weird being on G4. Like yeah, it's nerdy, but it feels like it would have done better on the Sci-Fi Network or maybe on like an actual Flash website that would have been popular back then. If for some reason you really want to watch it, it's all on Amazon Prime right now if you want to catch up before Spaceballs 2 comes out in like 2 to 3 years. Or if you want just a more detailed look at things, Hats Off Entertainment actually did an episode about this a few years ago that's actually really well done and actually has a bit more history than what you're going to get here.
Eat cola. Delicious. Eat cola. Once you taste it, you'll never drink anything else.
Eat cola.
Who is the International Sexy Lady Show Watcher? Just about anyone who appreciates beauty from around the world. Here's to you, the Sexy Lady Show Watcher.
I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm actually afraid to show footage of this show. The International Sexy Lady Show doesn't show up on the Wikipedia page or anywhere where G4 is brought up from what I can tell. But I remember it for some reason. I wonder why. It's a clip show like Ridiculousness or like True TV's World's Dumbest, but with just clips of ladies being attractive and doing stuff. I've tried to pick tame stuff for YouTube just in case, you know, I get in trouble. I don't want anything too raunchy on here. But you can really tell it's a late night show. Like, I'm pretty sure this came on like Midnight Spank or Barbed Wire Biscuit or something like that. If anybody remembers those G4 TV blocks. But other than watching clips, there's also comedians like John Caparulo and Mitch Fatal doing jokes that could be funny or just be a buzzkill depending on what you're trying to get out of this show. Plus there's a disembodied host voice that's also trying to crack jokes. So it's just really conflicting on what the show kind of wants to be. Overall, it's a fever dream of a show that makes no sense now. Didn't really make sense then either with the, the idea of the internet being around. And it's kind of wild because this show got 2 seasons for some reason.
For the cranky girls fanatic, this is pretty sexy stuff. Clumsy wrist action, constant pumping. It's just like the real thing.
Alright, and that's 5 somewhat obscure G4 shows. Do you remember any of these shows when they aired? Or do you have any obscure shows that aired on G4 and you want to tell everybody about them? You can let us know down below. But for now, at the end, I want to thank you all for watching, and I just want to say, keep gaming.
Thanksgiving is that very special time when families come together, eat a bunch of food with gravy on it, and ask, whatever happened to G4?